The faint hum of the engines reverberated through the narrow metallic corridors, a low, rhythmic vibration that seemed to pulse with the lifeblood of the colossal vessel. I stumbled forward, disoriented, my limbs still heavy from the lingering effects of sedation. Whatever substance they had used to subdue me had dulled not only my body but also my thoughts, leaving behind a fragmented sense of reality. Images flitted through my mind, the sudden blackout aboard my own vessel, the sharp tug of acceleration, and now this. The cold, alien embrace of the Unity. My compound eyes flicked across the walls, cataloging every detail. Strange markings and symbols danced across the metallic surfaces, their meaning as indecipherable as the motives of my captors. Panels blinked with unreadable glyphs, casting a faint glow that barely illuminated the otherwise dim corridor. My antennae twitched, picking up the faint hum of energy coursing through the ship, an omnipresent reminder of the technological marvel I was now trapped inside. Before I could gather my bearings, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was tall, its frame encased in sleek, segmented armor that seemed to shimmer faintly with every step. The dim lighting reflected off its polished surface, making it appear almost alive. It raised an appendage, holding a weapon that defied my understanding. Its design was alien, elegant yet menacing, its energy core pulsating with restrained power. "Stay," the figure commanded. Its voice was harsh and mechanical, filtered through the modulated tones of its helmet. Instinctively, my wings folded tightly against my back, and I froze. The command, though simple, carried an implicit threat, one that was amplified by the sharp motion of the weapon as it pointed directly at me. With no other choice, I lowered myself to the ground, limbs tucked defensively close to my body. A second figure stepped into view, smaller in stature but no less imposing. Its armor was marked with intricate patterns, likely denoting rank or status. Unlike its companion, this one carried a device that emitted a soft, bluish glow. A holographic interface materialized above it, displaying a cascade of shifting symbols and diagrams. The figure manipulated the display with precise, deliberate motions before turning its attention to me. "Xylor drone Y783K302, the smaller figure intoned, its voice devoid of any inflection. "You are now in the custody of the Coalition of Sovereign Worlds. Under the Unified Galactic Concordance, you have certain rights and obligations. These will be explained to you in due course." Custody? Coalition? My mandibles clicked nervously as I tried to comprehend the situation. What is this about? The larger figure stepped closer, towering over me. Its presence was suffocating, its shadow engulfing me entirely. "You were captured during an unauthorized incursion into Coalition space," it said, its voice deeper, more resonant, and imbued with a weight of authority that left no room for argument. "You will answer our questions." My antennae twitched involuntarily, a primal response to the mounting tension. I am a scout," I stammered, my voice trembling. "I was following orders. I didn't know." The smaller figure interrupted, its tone sharp. "Ignorance of the Concordance does not absolve you of responsibility. However, compliance may be met with leniency." I hesitated, unsure of how much to reveal. The Coalition was a name whispered in my hive, spoken of with equal parts reverence and fear. Stories of an alliance so vast and powerful that it spanned countless systems, enforcing its will through both diplomacy and force. But surely they were just that, stories? "Identify your commanding officer," the smaller figure demanded. "Commander Virel," I answered quickly, eager to demonstrate cooperation. "He oversees our operations in this sector." "And the nature of those operations?" The larger figure pressed, its tone sharp and unyielding. "Exploration," I replied cautiously. "Mapping uncharted regions." The smaller figure tilted its head, its helmet's visor glowing faintly. "Lies," it said flatly. "Your vessel's logs indicate frequent incursions into restricted zones. Your species has been warned before." "I don't know about that," I protested. "I'm just a drone. They don't tell me anything beyond my immediate tasks." "Convenient," the larger figure muttered, its tone dripping with skepticism. "Do you deny knowledge of the recent sabotage on Coalition outposts near the Alvarin Belt?" The accusation struck me like a physical blow. My wings twitched involuntarily, betraying my rising panic. "Sabotage? No. I wasn't part of anything like that, I swear." The smaller figure leaned closer, its visor mere inches from my face. "We will determine the truth soon enough," it said, its voice icy. For now, you will remain in confinement. Further interrogation will commence once we reach the hub. 2 more armored figures entered, their weapons trained unwaveringly on me. They motioned for me to stand, and I complied, my legs shaking beneath me. As they escorted me through the labyrinthine corridors, I caught fleeting glimpses of other prisoners, drones like myself, their postures sagging with defeat. I was led to a small chamber, its walls bare and metallic, its only feature a solitary bench. The door sealed behind me with an ominous hiss, and I was left alone. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the faint hum of the ship's engines. Time seemed to stretch endlessly as I sat there, my mind racing. What did they want from me? How much did they already know? My thoughts spiraled into a chaotic blur of fear and uncertainty. Finally, the door slid open, revealing the smaller figure. Its helmet was gone, revealing an angular face with pale, almost translucent skin and eyes that seemed to pierce straight through me. It held a device that pulsed faintly with blue light. "We've reviewed your neural logs," it said, its tone as cold as ever. "There are discrepancies." "Discrepancies?" I echoed, dread creeping into my voice. "You've withheld information," it continued, "about your hive, about your mission. We need the truth." "I told you everything I know," I insisted, my voice barely above a whisper. "I am just a scout." The figure's eyes narrowed, its expression unreadable. "We shall see," it said before turning to leave. The door slid shut once more, leaving me alone in the sterile, unyielding silence. As I sat there, I realized one chilling truth. My fate was no longer in my hands. Whatever the Coalition sought, they would extract it, by force if necessary. And all I could do was hope that my hive would come for me before it was too late.